Not about the destination, it's about the journey. In other words, it's not about killing it, it's enjoying God's nature.
When I was a youngin', I stayed outside.
I mean, hunting, it's America. It's based on hunting. Well, I mean, what's greater than a family out in the woods?
Well, as the old saying goes, family that hunt together stay together.
Beach call.
Yeah.
No,
It's about
the Bay Bridge.
family, friends.
Yeah.
It's about fellowship.
Crabs. So we're on the water. We're in the woods. And
The heart starts to pound and you start to sweat a little bit.
And then I took the shot.
beach call.
He jumped. And
Beach call.
It's about making things interesting and fun.
Beach call.
Yeah. It's about farting.
Yeah.
What we're going to talk today about on some different topics, and one of them to start off the show with is hunting properties, local. And what are we looking for in them? What is the interesting factors? What do we need to have in a local property?
Obviously, we, woods. If we're lucky enough to find a stream, water, crops, some kind of a food source.
And Michael, why is it that you need that? What type of hunting are we going to be doing?
Whitetail, definitely whitetail hunting. There are sika deer down here. Maryland's known for sika deer also, but we predominantly do whitetail deer hunting. What do you look for?
I like to look for open ranges, not too close to the road. I like to be able to be in the woods and actually not hear the sounds of the cars and stuff like that. And love wildlife. More wildlife, the better.
So you've been lucky. You've been hunting on, a piece of property on the Eastern Shore for 20-some years, and it's got a mixture of everything.
Yeah, we've been blessed, Michael. We've got whitetail, we've got fox, we've got rabbit, we've got turkey, we've seen some quail. We've got a variety of animals that we have. Squirrel, of course, we love the squirrel hunt. Raccoon. So our property does entail a lot of stuff you all just talked about. We have hundreds of acres. We've got fields with crops. We've got woods, got good different acorns, red and white oak and stuff like that.
Correct.
We've got a stream wrapped around the entire property. We give the deer and the wildlife down there a place to sleep, a place to eat. They've got water. It's really a prime piece of hunting land as far as I'm concerned.
Well, when it comes to the hunting community, what comes to mind when you hear that?
The hunting community. That could be a loaded question. I guess we're talking in general. Are you talking about the hunting community where you're hunting at, or the people that are doing the hunting?
A combination of both. Well, the hunting community. Obviously, you don't want to be in 10 acres hunting if you chose, with houses around, and you wouldn't want to be in, school zones and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. Keep in mind, a lot of the good hunts that people have are on limited small areas of property. It's just using common sense and following legal regulations. If there's a regulation that says you can't hunt within 200 yards of a school or a home or certain things, or you can't shoot a rifle and so forth, follow those rules, but you can absolutely go into 10 acres, 20 acres, or 200 acres and have the same success. You can get some really quality animals. You can harvest some really great deer and other things in those areas. Of course, but if you have a limited amount of property, of course that will limit you to what you can actually do on that property.
Yeah, we have a smaller piece up in Cecil, but we got, a beautiful
Food plot.
Well, and then we have a monster 8-point up there. So yeah, it doesn't have to be just a farm, I guess. In a lot of acres, and we don't have that much up there, but I guess in the hunting community, it's just kind of where you get lucky enough to hunt at.
Yeah, and indeed, hunting has a lot of luck to it. You can do a tremendous amount of preparation, and you always should do that. But in the end, there's some hunting luck, and there's skill sets all combined. And no matter where you hunt, that has to come into play. Wind conditions, and you go out there and the weather doesn't cooperate. You listen to a lot of the hunters, male and female alike, that are out there, and they'll talk to you about moon phases, cold fronts. You know, they talk about one of the deadliest things for the rut, for white-tailed deer, is weather getting warm again after it was cold. I mean, you know, they claim the deer will quit moving. So it's a lot of interesting things, a lot of challenges out there.
So last episode we talked about the Great American Outdoor Show. We sent our producer Brandon out to talk to a lot of the outfitters and introduce himself and try to get more knowledge on outfitters. And experience what hunting is like for paying to go hunt. Now I'm taking the experience this year. I'm going down to Whitetail Heaven in Kentucky, and for an early hunt in September to give that a try. But Brandon got to meet a ton of great people. Brandon, come join us.
What's up?
Hey man, thanks for joining us, Brandon.
What's up? I got the top secret information on all the outfitters. All these guys from all over America and outside 7 continents coming together.
There was a ton of them.
In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yep, a ton of them there.
Brandon, I understand you did a wonderful job. I heard you spent a lot of quality time. Give us some examples. What motivated you to go up there, and then when you got up there, was it what you expected, and did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish?
Mike came up with the idea. You came up with the idea back in December, right after we did our first podcast episode, the holiday podcast. Mm-hmm. You were like, we need to get down there and get this show on the road. Actually, we did, for Liberty Grove Manor Productions, we did a Comic-Con, Anamore, a Baltimore Comic-Con, for just like test running, see how quick we could turn videos over, see how quick we could. And when Mike threw me out there, man, I was like, yeah, let's go talk. Where do you want to go?
Predominant states to hunt: Iowa, Missouri, Kentucky.
Missouri.
Well, yeah, I said Missouri, Illinois.
But then you got people with elephants, and you got people with alligators at this event.
The outfitters that they had for overseas and Africa hunts, and I mean, they had a taxidermist that
taxidermy.
His booth, they had a gigantic elephant head, and they had giraffes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was amazing.
Yeah, they're crazy. They were unbelievably beautiful animals.
And that was another thing. I wanted to know who these people were. I wanted to know what they hunt.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what they had to offer. We got a show. Mike was talking about going out to an outfitter. Well, why not talk to them all? Why not talk to everyone that's willing to? And at the top of our list is Chariton. Chariton Outfitters. Now, these guys are cool. We saw them on Sunday.
Scott Vanderbilt from Chariton Valley Outfitters, and what he's asking about is a free hunt giveaway that we give to military veterans, active or prior duty service, as well as first responders, including police officers, EMTs, and firemen. At the end of the show, just as our gratitude for those that have served and done our hero work, we give a late muzzleloader hunt to someone that's very deserving. It's just our way of giving back to someone that we say thank you.
Is this the first year you've done that?
Absolutely not. This is our 4th year at this show, and we do it every year.
And how did those hunts with the guys go? Can you tell us about some of the guys that won?
Absolutely wonderful. Now, last year, the gentleman that won and the second place person, neither one could come, so I couldn't even give away a free hunt. Couldn't believe you can't even give a free hunt away in the state of Iowa. It's kind of bad. The other 2 gentlemen, both of them have killed deer with us.
Okay. So if you get the free hunt, are you cashing in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's got to be Missouri. I won't get on that. In Iowa, it would be 3 to 5 years.
What I would do is I would apply for the Iowa tag. If you don't get it, then we go to Missouri. But always good when you're going to the Iowa.
Can we do the archery hunt?
If you want to pay just a little bit of the difference on it, we can make that work.
Yeah, we're big on archery. Yeah.
So am I.
But yeah, because you can see Marine. But I'm also retired police too.
The gentleman that was just here that had the Penn State T-shirt on, he's actually a retired police officer as well as he's a Marine. He's actually the retired police chief from State College, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because I talked to you yesterday.
Yep, I talked to you yesterday for a good 40 minutes probably.
Yep.
It's not hard for him to do. He loves to talk.
I love to talk.
What is your hunting area like?
Our hunting area, if you're familiar with the Outdoor Channel, my hunting area is within 40 minutes of Lee and Tiffany to the east, and the Kiskies about 45 miles to the west of us, and the Drurys are right there beside us.
Wow. You're right there.
If you know that Iowa is considered the mecca of the whitetail hunter.
Yeah.
If you want a big body, big antler, you go to Iowa, you go to North Missouri. North Missouri is really good. It could do a couple of improvements, but we really like it.
What separates your hunting territory from others?
Because we live there.
We live there. All of my guides live there too. They're not like some of these outfitters you may talk to that bring in guides from 5 states over from where they're actually hunting a week before your hunt schedule to be going on. And they're supposed to know the deer pattern. Every guide I employ lives within 20 minutes of our lodge.
Oh, now, describe your lodge to us. What are the accommodations?
We can accommodate 27 hunters, but we're only going to put 15 hunters in there at a time. We want each hunter to either have a room to himself, or if they come with someone else, we'll put 2 guys in a room. We have a shower system and a bathroom system. It's got 4 stalls, 5 showers.
What if I want to bring my wife?
We have 2 rooms that are adjacent to the lodge. It's got its own bathroom facility, its own shower. You have your own entryway. You won't even be connected to the rest of those wild guys in the lodge.
So I can bring my daughter too. She can hunt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We encourage the youth to get involved in our hunting because that's the future of our industry.
Comfortable. Hospitality is fantastic. The deer are there. The guides are super. I'm a customer. I don't work.
He's a client of the client.
Yeah.
He doesn't work for me.
We go out every year from Pennsylvania.
We're at in Pennsylvania.
State College.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was born and half raised in Western PA.
Where at?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Well, not far from Grove City, Sharon, Wilmington area.
Yeah, I know that country well. I played music up in Edinburgh.
Oh, okay.
I forget the other little place up there. The Riverside Hotel is in this town.
Oh, yeah, I know where it's at.
And he's a famous bluegrass singer.
Really?
Anyway, good country.
Yeah, it is. Deer hunting's a little tough, but
tough everywhere.
Yeah.
Anything worthwhile is tough.
True.
But these guys out here make it very, very possible and probable.
Yeah, what's your success rate?
It varies year to year. Now, this past year, we had an 80% kill success rate.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I'm not going to say that every deer that was killed was over 140, which is our new minimum, but the people that killed them were happy with it. I do everything except pull the trigger.
Gotcha.
I can't control that. We do ask for a 140 minimum, but we've actually started doing more trophy managing, so we have to instill a penalty fee if you do shoot under 140.
And you guys are free range, correct?
100% free range. I haven't done anything that's not a fence unless I want to shoot a cow.
Hey, it's surprising. So that, at this show, this was my first experience of talking to people that are in the same business as yourself that tell me, oh yeah, it's a range. It's a range. I'm sorry. And then they say, but it's a high fence. And I was like, well, what do you mean?
It means they got about
so they explain to me. Yep. But then if you notice that if their deer, their antlers are all, they're weird.
Yeah, because they're genetically enhanced.
Yes. And we were talking about that on the way down here.
Yeah. I do feed nutritional supplements, minerals,
absolutely,
feeders, everything. Every feeder that I have has to be removed a minimum of 30 days prior to ever hunting on that property.
Is it in Iowa or Missouri where you can't hunt over bait?
Neither one of them you can hunt over bait.
No? Okay.
Iowa you can use feeders, and our properties in Missouri we can't use mineral oil feeders because of CWD contagious. 37 out of 48 counties in the state of Missouri have CWD.
How did it affect you guys at all? No.
They found 3 cases of it there last year, right on the state line.
Gotcha.
They have nutritional supplements for the hunters too.
Oh, I bet.
He leaves 10 pounds heavier when he gets there, and I walk him really hard.
I'll tell you what. If you didn't go out there and do anything but eat, you'd say this was worthwhile. Because Chalitas is such a good book.
And your prices are extremely reasonable.
We try to keep it to where the common man can afford to go hunt.
Absolutely.
We don't. I don't turn away TV crews because I don't cater to TV crews.
I understand that.
You know, I've had some guys in camp that are Outdoor Channel people. I'm not naming any names, but sometimes they're so needy. They think that their hunt comes above and beyond anyone else's. Guess what? Your dollar is worth just as much.
It's the same as theirs. Absolutely. So a question though. So self-filming. So you do encourage or you do allow guys to come out and self-film their hunts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you want to film your own hunt, that's great. This gentleman who filmed this big buck right here, this big guy here, he actually owns Asco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he got all the shot and everything on his phone through his Asco on his gun.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Where do you live now?
Maryland.
Do you where?
In Conowingo, so we're in Cecil County. Yeah.
Gaithersburg.
I used to work down in Gaithersburg years ago.
I used to live in Howard County.
Yeah.
Where?
I used to live in Howard County.
Well, we both lived in Howard County. Yeah, we grew up in Howard
I
County.
left Gaithersburg, Maryland. 2,500 people that lived there, and you had to go through somebody's farm to get out of town.
Not anymore.
I know, it's megalopolis.
Now, were you the Marine retired police officer too?
No.
That's not him? He's not here yet?
He's here somewhere. He hasn't got back yet. Ron.
Yeah, he was telling us about him. So what did you, so you left Maryland?
I taught at the Frederick County Outdoor School when I first graduated from Maryland University. I don't know if you know about that, but it's an outdoor school in Catoctin Mountain Park, which is where Camp David is.
Yes, absolutely.
And Penn State University needed somebody to come up there and teach that. So they recruited me to come up, and that's how I got to Penn State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I retired from there and had a lot of adventures.
Oh, I bet.
Last year.
I bet. Yeah, this is like the first year we're really trying to figure out which outfitters we want to go with. We won a Whitetail Heaven trip coming up in September. So that'll be, and I'm bringing my wife, so that'll be an experience. Yeah, down in Kentucky.
Good luck.
Oh yeah, why do you say it?
Read all the reviews you want. I'm not going to talk bad about it.
No. It's a free. One of the great things about these guys, Scott, the owner of Chariton Outfitters. So in Iowa, for an archery tag, and which I predominantly do is archery, it's a 3 to 5 year wait to get.
Wow.
That's so you have to, and it's a point system. Yeah. So you have to pay for each year to hunt, and if you don't draw a tag, that of course they refund you your money, but you get a point for applying and trying to hunt there. So then it takes about 3 to 5 years to get selected to get that draw. Mm-hmm. And so Scott sat there and explained everything to me, how to do it, what it costs, and then his farm, his ranch, his lodging is just phenomenal.
So if I'm listening correctly, what I'm getting from this, and I haven't gone on hunts like this before, is these different groups of people that have these hunting outfitters, they make it as easy as possible for you to get out there in the field or get out there on a boat and get some fish and whatever it is you're going to do. It sounds like they're going to make it as easy as possible for you to get out there and accommodate you.
Well, the way it's described really is it's easy by they have the stand up for you already, they have the pinch points, they have the funnels, they have the photos, and
I'm talking about getting to go.
Yeah,
so they say, hey, call us up. We're going to tell you how to get here, what to do, how much to cost it, what to expect. I'm talking about all that. So they're going to make it simple. Now, when you get out there, it's another story.
Yeah,
you still got to harvest the animal or the fish or whatever you're trying to do. But what I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to inspire in this is that if a young lady or a young man or someone, an old lady or an old man or in between, wants to do these things, these outfitters are trying to make it so that you can get out there and experience it.
Correct.
I'm not being an advocate saying that this is the answer to hunting and fishing in general. But if you've never experienced it before, it might be a route to go to give it a try. Of course, we absolutely have our own place to hunt. We do things the way we think we want to do it. That's a different type of thing. Mm-hmm. But it could be an opportunity to get somebody involved. And he was talking about vets. Maybe a veteran could get out there to have an opportunity to get out and get a hunt.
It's not only that; it's also a great opportunity for you guys to learn.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
if you go to the right, the idea is. The second question that really came with all of these outfitters is what's your kill rate?
That was my first, by the percentage.
The percentage.
Yeah,
because nobody's going to have 100%.
Right. That's impossible to predict unless you had a fenced-in area. If you're hunting fenced animals, that's just really not a hunt at all, and they push something out to you, and you take a shot and you say, hey, wow, look at this big buck they grew on the property, and that's not what we call hunting. That's not what we call hunting. I'm not going to tell you that that's not something you can do and enjoy, but that's not what we call hunting. And so yeah, and the success rate, when you're also talking, if you go to a place and you pay thousands of dollars and they tell you, hey, you can only take a 140-inch class buck, and hopefully those people that are watching understand what that means, and if you don't, it means the amount of inches of spread and all so forth on the antlers. That limits you to a very small group of, you may see, get excited, you go out there and you see 100 deer and over a 3-day span, but never got one that you could shoot. So you spent a lot of money to go out there and look at pretty animals, but you weren't really interested in paying to see them just grow up. You want to harvest something. That's part of the fun of it all. And again, you don't have to harvest something to enjoy yourself, but when you do, and you have a fair, honest opportunity to, it means a lot.
And that's where it gets cool, because not only that, but I've done tons of videos with Taylor, tons of videos with Mike, tons of videos. It's funny because I watch you guys.
Notice he didn't say tons of video with me because I'm not the star of the show, but we'll get that on another topic. Go ahead.
Because he can't film his own hunts.
I've been around you enough and seen enough videos that I got a good feel for where you're coming from.
Was my main thing was I wanted to hunt in Missouri because I knew the waiting list for Iowa was 3 to 5 years.
I would love to go and hunt in Missouri, to be honest, especially with Chariton Valley, because the guys, we met them on the first day we were there, and they were like the sweetest guys ever. They had a bowl that had free candy.
She kept eating all the candy.
I did not. That was Maylee, my little sister.
So that's all we gotta do to get you to like someplace,
No,
have
pretty
candy
much.
bowl on the table.
Well, you brought it up. You brought the topic up. You said a bowl of candy, Taylor.
Well, that helps.
So.
But no, I just like your demeanor. If you talk to just the people who can afford big, expensive hunts like that, then it's not going to be that great. I like outfitters that will, they'll help anyone. They'll help average Joes. They'll help people who are little, they're not rich or they're not expensive or anything like that. Just all around helping people.
Well, one thing they did was different than a lot of them was they actually brought a guy that hunted for the last 5 years with them.
So what did you learn from this group? Did they have a minimum 130, 40 class buck?
Yeah, there was 140, minimum
so still
140.
140, and they're having success. Wow. That's
well, so here's the
something.
thing. The property they have that they use is big. It's very big. And they have
a ton of acres, over 1,000.
And they have food plots and stuff like that. And so, obviously photos, they say one story. They had a TV where they constantly went through photos of their bucks. So they constantly are taking care of their bucks and feeding all the younger deer. So they have plenty of nice ripe bucks.
And on an outsider's note, stuff that you might relate to, Pops, is they had an attitude that was very, they said, we make it so the common man can hunt. Ding. I knew that was something that really resonated well with me. And then he looks dead at the camera, and I'm filming him and Mike talking, and he looks, we don't cater to cameramen. Sometimes they
the celebrities. We don't cater to the celebrity.
Wow. Okay. So so what you're saying, that could be infectious. You're saying that they're saying hey, the average Joe, the regular folk coming in here, you're just
are getting
as
the same
important
treatment
as the people that are trying to do a TV show,
correct,
or do something.
Yeah.
And hey, that you can buy into that. That's
no. I thought it took integrity to say it straight to my camera.
Yeah.
Either that or he's one heck of a liar.
Yeah.
We'll find out maybe, huh?
So what do you think though? What do you think when you think, because you don't know none of these, so you're the perfect person to say. I say Missouri hunting. What do you think?
I'll say just a couple. I'm absolutely looking forward to doing something like that.
Okay.
And we talked about that.
Next guy was Bob Husky. Doesn't that sound like a country name?
I like that. I love that last name.
I don't know. It sounds more like Alaskan to me, but.
A husky? Because of the dog?
I
thought a husky wasn't a husky a gun or a tool?
No,
it is a tool, but I have a Siberian husky.
From
We have two
Siberia
Huskies.
and Alaska and all that stuff. So Anyway, go
The
ahead.
sled dogs.
Yeah, I've seen the Siberian Husky.
Yeah, so-
Picture of the Husky. Tell me about the Husky.
What?
We're showing a picture of the Husky right now.
Oh,
Tell me about the Husky.
my husky? Oh,
Yeah.
he's beautiful.
Oh, he's beautiful.
He's beautiful.
Nico.
Yeah.
Nico.
Nico. Yeah.
How
The
old is-
guardian of children.
That's what his name means.
Yep.
He actually eats bad outfitters.
Yeah.
No, nope, he actually kills snakes.
Yeah.
What kind of snakes?
And
Does he?
turtles. And turtles.
We have black rat snakes where we're at, and so one day we heard him barking like crazy,
Oh, he
and then
was
we
going
came
at it.
out, and he had some blood on his nose, and it was actually the snakes.
Yeah, a snake bit his nose, but then he destroyed it.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Bob Husky.
All right.
Hey, I'm Bob Husky with the West Kentucky Buck Company from Crofton, Kentucky. We've got lots of big bucks in Kentucky, and love to have everybody down. I'm a bow hunter only. Hadn't used a gun to shoot deer in 30 years, but we sell gun hunts. I'm just a bow hunter myself. Lots of hospitality and great food. Come down and see some good bucks.
Tell us about your property. What's your property?
We have 4,000 acres of public land. I mean, not public land, private farms. Spread. Most of them's within 10 miles of their lodge. We've got we can sleep 12 in the lodge. We got 3 bathrooms, and pretty well don't have to wait on the shower. Lots of good cooking, home cooking from grandma, mom, and so that's.
So what's the success rate?
Last year was a 50% success rate, 75% kill. 50% success rate, 75% opportunity. The year before was Velvet was 100% success, and the year was 75% success and about at 95% opportunity.
And how long have you been a hunting guide?
On and off for probably 25 years,
What made you want to pursue that?
I was a pipeliner by trade, so I always, come September, I went home to hunt. So,
And how did you get involved in hunting?
I actually got involved in 1999. I killed nearly a 150 deer 3 miles from Alabama with a bow during gun season. So I ended up on TV. I didn't know it. I had filmed it, but my daughter sent it to a Closing the Distance hunting show, and that's what got me started.
And what do you think? How has hunting changed since you started?
Oh goodness! And now it's an industry. It wasn't an industry then. And we manage deer better. People are letting them grow up, become mature. That's the key to all whitetail hunting, is letting them grow up. Let them get over 4.5 to 5.5 year old at least. Then you can have some good bucks.
How do you feel about women's hunting? How do you feel that's come along?
Women's hunting? Oh, it's amazing how many more women we get in count now. Yeah, really. And lots of couples come even if she don't hunt. I met 2 people here. The lady hunting, the man was going to come with her. So, it's really changed. I love it. It should be like that too, I think.
And who were some of the major influences on you when you started hunting?
I guess my uncle. Yeah, but for his personalities, there wasn't any. There wasn't no hunting heroes really when I was started hunting. It was brown, it was down.
So how did you and your uncle get involved in hunting? How did he reach you?
How did he reach me?
Yes, sir.
Because he was on. My dad stayed gone all the time. I had a great dad, but he wasn't, so I never got to hunt with my dad. So, I had him. And, so I always said when my kids got grown, they'd never have to worry about going hunting with Dad. So I raised them in a tree stand.
And what was the best thing you ever learned from your uncle about hunting?
That it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. In other words, it's not about killing it, it's enjoying God's nature and enjoying everything that God gave us here on earth. You know, that's, for me, that's it, you know, really.
So, as a hunting guide, what do you hope that everybody who's ever hunted with you walks away with?
With a good feeling of being treated right and just treated fair, you know, honesty. I'm a big guy on that. I don't like greed and I don't like liars. Just being honest here, you know. I want them to go home. We've had several guys back here today that's hunting with us and bragging about how they get in the truck with me and have a cup of coffee waiting on them, you know. I always go over, I live behind the lodge, I'm always over. When they get up, I got coffee made and, you know, so I pet them a little, like everybody should be, right? I've been happily divorced 27 years, so I'm used to taking care of people anyway.
Hey, thank you for this interview.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Their pricing, I mean, these two this guy, West Kentucky, and then Chariton, their pricing is completely reasonable from all the outfitters we've talked to. Now, price ranging for white-tailed deer in Kentucky, Missouri, Iowa, you could be from $2,500 for 5 days, or 3 days, you could be at like $2,000, $1,500. But from 5 days, six nights, 5 days hunting, from $2,500 all the way up to $4,800, $5,000, depending on the outfitter that you go with.
From day one, when Dad mentioned outfitters, I loved Kentucky because I actually went to Tennessee on a trip one time. And Kentucky, that's where a lot of racehorses are, and I'm a big animal girl. And I suggested to Dad one time, I was like, Dad, maybe we should look into Kentucky. Because, of course, he's a Missouri guy. But I said, Dad, Boone and Crockett, they started their scoring system in Kentucky. That's where it all started. That's where, you get all the cool big bucks and stuff like that, and you get a lot of nice outfitters.
All the deer.
Daniel Boone's Kentucky and Davy Crockett's Tennessee, right?
Yes, and so they came together and
Daniel Boone was
I'm related to Daniel Boone.
We are actually.
We are.
Do you got a raccoon hat?
No. So the Boone and Crockett's, that's the what actual scoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would be happy to go.
She's trying to
hunting.
tag along for the free hunts.
What do you
I
got?
am
What do you
not.
got? Lexington, Kentucky.
That's like the horse capital of the world, yeah.
Yeah.
It all appears that we're into trying to get out there and go to different states, and absolutely, as Taylor is saying, and Kentucky's pretty famous.
Yeah.
Pretty good success rate, big bucks out there, and that ain't what it's all about, but it sure makes it fun.
Okay, all right. Next is East Coast Outfitters.
Well, this is East Coast Outfitters. We're from Greenville, North Carolina. We mostly do deer, bear, and turkey. We're starting waterfowl this year. Here's some of the pictures. We mostly do real good on the bears. We got a real good population of deer.
How big are the deers?
We average, an 8-pointer, 16, 17 inches. We have some that's over 19, 20 inches. But it's, we got pictures right here. There's a few nice bucks.
Yeah, those are some nice bucks.
And then we have some, a lot of guys that come from Pennsylvania that,
yeah, there we go. I got the shot perfect. Yeah. Keep going. Keep And these are guys from Pennsylvania
Yes,
that come
sir.
down
Yep.
to North Carolina to hunt, eh?
Yep. There's a real nice buck that was killed. He's about 19 inches. This boy's from Florida.
Oh, really?
Comes all the way up from Florida. Yes, sir. Yep. We got guys coming all over the place. There's a real pretty buck.
Ain't that something?
Yep. There I am standing in the background, of course. Oh yeah, I'm all about it. There's
Right.
like I said, we got some real nice whitetails. Here's our bears.
Oh, there we go.
This guy right here is from Wilmington.
Wilmington?
Yep, Wilmington, North Carolina. Lot of nice bears. You know, Eastern North Carolina's got a lot of bears. Yep. There I am again, get ready to clean the bear. Yep.
Like, how many seasons is this over roughly?
This was this year. This was this hunting season.
Just this first year, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, we do fairly real good. Real well.
What's the biggest bear that ever got killed out there? On your area.
We've had some around 600. Normally an average bear is going to be 250 to 300. You know, you do have some big studs, but you know they're nocturnal sometimes. You know, so it's kind of hit and miss, but. We do have a real good.
And this is your lodges?
Yes, sir. We have two lodges. We accommodate like 17 people. It's real nice facilities. Yep, real nice place. Have a fire pit. You go there and sit there and enjoy yourself after the hunt.
And you've been hunting all your life, eh?
Yes, sir. I've been hunting all my life. Been doing it. I'm 44, which a lot of people don't really care about that, but still, I've been doing it ever since I was about, I don't know, I started when I was about 7, going with my uncles, and, then I started really doing it when I turned about 12,
And how old were you when you got your first kill?
My first deer I killed when I was 15, yep, but it's a good thing. Everybody needs to get in it, yep.
How do you think family values are formed through hunting?
Family value? Well, nowadays you got to take your kids. It's all about the kids nowadays. Hunting's going to be a dying thing if people don't get their kids involved with the outdoors. The outdoors should be evolved around taking a kid, or you can take a grown person, an elderly man that's can't get out. Hey, he's loves to hunt, and if he can't do it himself, lend a helping hand, and it's all about friends and family. Take people outdoors.
Do you think kids today find it harder to focus in hunting with modern technologies?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's actually this day and time, the technology has gotten way out of hand. There's too many people walking around with telephones. A lot of kids is hung up on PlayStations, Xbox. They don't want to come outside. When I was a youngin', I stayed outside. I mean, when I woke up mornings, it was I went outside and I played all day long. Nowadays, kids don't like to go outside.
So, what would you say to somebody thinking about coming to hunt out at East Coast Outfitters?
Well, they need to come on out there. It's a good experience. You'll really enjoy yourself. We have a real good atmosphere. We have fun. We get the job done.
You go down there to kill bears.
Yeah.
Because they had the bears.
Yeah,
They had
bear.
the pictures of bears. Like, we got pictures of deer on our property, especially last year before the season started, some of those bucks. And I mean, when I saw the pictures of the bears, I was like, man, I hope we get a bear on our property.
Well, we can go to Frederick. Frederick's got a bear now. Or up to, I got friends up in Cumberland. We can go bear hunting up there.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about the bear hunting and talking to the guy, I ended up, making a make-believe movie. Pops gets killed in my movie.
What?
Yeah, Taylor ends up.
Oh, so now you put the camera on me after I get killed in an episode.
Well,
wow.
No, he didn't get killed in an episode. It was a make-believe movie where Taylor comes out of nowhere to go avenge her great-grandfather's death by killing the bear. Don't you love that?
I like that.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
I hope it's a grizzly bear, but I don't know.
You want I get killed by a grizzly bear?
It's
Boy,
a lot
my
better
Oh my
than a
God.
black
My
bear.
mom would be.
The only thing be
extremely
left
happy.
of me is lips and hair and a couple nails or something like
Not
that.
even
It's
that.
so much bigger.
But you're still in the film, but you're in flashbacks, you know.
Oh,
and we get to
okay.
use like Holden for you know.
You shouldn't have told him that, because now he's going to ask for like Brad Pitt to be his actor.
I'm the guy, man.
Yeah.
If he did.
Pitt could come in and do the stunts, but I'm going to be the glory of it all. Come on.
I think Miss Tam would prefer Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt,
I would go to North Carolina to
Yeah,
bear hunt.
for
I
the
wouldn't
bear
go
hunt,
for deer
yeah.
hunting.
North Carolina bear hunting.
I think it'd be awesome. I love North
Oh
Carolina.
my gosh. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me explain all that. The reason I say I love every state is because this. I'd be happy to hunt anywhere, no matter where it is, no matter what outfitter it is, because, you know, just hunting, you know, on our Eastern Shore property, I love that too, and I'm thankful
And we don't
for
see
everything.
jack most of the time.
Yeah. But, you know, I've been raised to be happy with what I have, and so I'd be thankful to go hunt wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, deer generally, everybody, actually something that you learn if you read about hunting is the closer to the equator, the smaller the animal, and the less quality you get. The further you get away, if you get up and further, the north you get, the higher the quality of the deer and the antlers.
Texas.
It's a fact.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Texas,
Everything's
you'd be
big.
surprised. They get some good deer out of there. I'll admit
They
that.
got some huge deer.
Yeah.
down there.
Well, it's funny.
Not
you should-
body-wise.
It's funny you should mention
racks.
Texas, because Texas was our next outfitter.
Ryan Miller, I'm with 4 County Outfitters. I've had the business for 6 years now. It was started by one of my friends 15 years ago, and been running it ever since, coming up here to Harrisburg, loving it.
Loving it. And you said you only do like 2 shows, so what brings you to the Harrisburg show? Why do you make an effort to come from Texas all the way out here?
We have a lot of clients that have come from here ever since we've been coming here, 15 years, and we keep coming back. Great people, keep meeting the same clients again, and just.
So what's it like hunting in Texas?
Well, why don't you hear from guys who have done it firsthand with me?
Okay.
I do it all the time and talk about it all the time. These guys actually hunt here.
We're from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We hunt his place all the time. That's why we come up and help him at his stand. Best hunting ever. I mean, you'll kill no shortage of animals whatsoever. And
No shortage of food.
no shortage of food. Food's
Are
great.
never hungry.
But I'll bring 3 dozen arrows with me, and I'll go through all 3 dozen of them.
Right
Just
on.
slinging arrows. So it's-
What's the best hunt you ever had down in this place?
last year, actually, because I killed a nice buck, a few doe, but I killed a really nice bobcat, too.
Tell me about that hunt. What was that like?
Way different than it is up here. Everything's big in Texas.
When you think of lodging and hunting, now I'm sure Texas has good hunting, but their lodge, one of the cool things about their website is they got the horseshoes. They got what's the other game you like to play?
Cornhole.
Cornhole. They got the cornhole. They got the campfire. They got a whole lot of family stuff on their lodge.
We're never going to end up there. We're never going to end up there because I beat him at cornhole, horseshoes, everything. He's not going to take me there. We'll never be there as a family. You just destroyed the hunt. You just destroyed the trip. You have beaten me once or twice in your life in cornhole or
and
horseshoes,
every
but it's
son-in-law
rare, right?
knows this. That is a true son-in-law knows that the father-in-law always wins.
Except for the pool. Let's see how's your pool
I
game.
played professional sports. You think I'm going to lose in cornhole?
Okay, this is going to get competitive now. We're going to make this happen this year. I'm going
Hey,
to see what
Justin,
happens.
my brother-in-law, he follows that rule too. He's pretty good at it too. It really sucks, but we go back and drink a couple beers laughing at it.
You know what's sad? I never knew that my son-in-laws lied.
Oh, absolutely.
I just found out today.
And because our wives are telling us to. Just remember that. If you keep but see, then we found that if we keep the mother-in-law happier, it's a lot better.
Yes.
Tammy Littleton.
Yes.
My incredible wife.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Great person.
Now,
She's
but
been to
here's
these
the thing.
states.
Texas is one state I haven't been to yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
I will say this. Texas, you know, they're really known for their hogs. Hogs are overrunning all of their farmers, all
Yeah.
their cropland and all stuff like that. I wouldn't mind going down and taking out some hogs for them because I love farmers. I come from Howard County. where, you know.
Your neighbor's a farmer.
Yeah, basically all your neighbors are
I'm gonna
farmers.
go down to shoot some hogs.
Yeah.
You're gonna go down and see
Well,
Texas
I'm gonna shoot some deer down there. They
Yeah.
got some big deer.
Well, since Taylor's talking about the hogs, you know, we went to Hog Swat. Now they're out of Georgia.
All right, this is Max Schiffler. I'm with Hog Swat. We're out of Albany, Georgia. We do thermal night hog hunts. We provide all the gear for up to 8 guys with 2 vans. We also do thermal gun buggy hunts with a thermal drone. So we do all our hunts at night. We supply all the weapons, suppressors, thermal scopes, pulsar weapon sights, and then we load up in vans, do spot and stock hunts, trying to kill as many hogs as we can. If it's not raining and the fields aren't swamped, we'll use a gun buggy and try to kill as many as we can with that, and it's like our helicopter hunt. Vans with thermal weapon sights on top, and we scan farm fields. We try to hit as many fields as we can looking for pigs. Once we find them, then we get out, come up with a plan, stalk within 30 to 125 yards, and then shoot everything we can off tripods.
Why do you think it's so important to kill pigs in farms? Like, are pigs dangerous in farms or something?
It's an invasive species, and they're creating all kinds of pig damage and crop damage and land damage and just everything. So they're eating and competing for native bedding and food sources that are causing all kinds of problems for native animals.
So, like, what kind of training do you give people on a vehicle like this before they go out?
So we do a bunch of range time, safety time. We kind of get people shooting the guns, doing kind of mock stalks, kind of scenarios that happen throughout the night. When we use a gun buggy, we also do, you know, strafing runs, shooting 5-gallon buckets and things like that, running and gunning, kind of going over all the safety brief on what to expect when we're coming up to animals. When I'm mic'd up with the drone pilot, he lets me know how close we are. We kind of communicate with the hunters in the back, and that way they can know when to start shooting.
How difficult is it to take these vehicles out and go out and get it?
It's really not that hard. It's just every night's different. Sometimes they're when we're hunting at night, most people don't shoot at night. And so when you're shooting guns at night and you're stalking at night, most people are kind of afraid of the dark, and they hear all these stories about animals being crazy, and it's just fun as hell.
What kind of age limits are you dealing with?
11-year-olds and up. You know, as long as they're mature, we'll typically take kids as young as 11.
Is an 11-year-old going to be able to handle the recoil and kickback from the gun? What kind of guns do you use?
We use AR-15s, either chambered in 7.62 or 5.56. We have carbon fiber tripods all the way to bog pods, so we have all kinds of different tools for anybody that comes.
What kind of stuff do you got to keep it, like, you know, from AR-15's a heavy gun for a kid? You got anything to help the kickback?
Typically, I'll carry the gun for the childs, anybody short or disabled, and like we said, we have those lock-in tripods that make it a little bit easier to manage recoil for children and anybody who's struggling carrying.
Right. What's the best night you ever had? What was that like? Tell me the story. Speak from the heart, be honest. I got everything I need.
I had some elderly guys that came hunting, you know, 80 years old. Getting those guys on the hunt was pretty cool, you know. We never even left the road. We kind of stalked 50 yards here and 50 yards there, and everywhere we turned we had pigs, and, you know, they were troopers, you know, hunting in the rain and kind of not the ideal conditions, slipping in the mud, and to see those guys still do it was pretty cool. I mean, we got quite a few pigs, and it was just awesome. That was a good night for me.
Yeah, I spoke to them in quite a bit. I spoke to them, and guess what? They told me. They said that usually after the first shot, you have to be able to lead that hog.
Oh, absolutely.
And they said at what was it? I think they said like at 100 yards you had to be 3 feet in front of them.
Yes.
Out in front of them, and at 200 yards, 7 feet and all. So there's quite a challenge with this. I mean, the first shot, the person that shoots first probably will get a sitting target. After that, a sitting target. The next people that shoot, they're shooting at things that are bolting significantly quickly, and they're trying to follow through and shoot. That's probably gonna be a lot of laughs.
So Taylor, if it comes down to hog hunting in Texas or hog hunting in Georgia, where do you want to kill your hog?
Doesn't really matter as long as I have the opportunity.
I would go to Hog Swat.
But yeah, Hog Swat.
I tell you what, but with Texas, you're going to get to shoot deer in the daytime.
This is true.
I mean, he made it very clear in the Georgia one. It's very interesting. It looks exciting. It looks like the thing to do, which you said, the camaraderie, a whole bit. But it's a night hunt, and it's you're not going to be hunting during the day, so more or less. And he made that clear.
All right, then after that, for you exotic lovers, I mean.
Well, we didn't talk about Hillside.
Oh, Hillside. Oh, yeah,
Maine.
yeah. Now, Hillside, ooh, yeah, how could we leave out that?
My name's Scott Beatty. I own Hillside Guide Service and Game Ranch in the state of Maine, 30 miles out of Bangor.
How long you been doing it?
Been doing this 38 years. I started guiding at 18 years old, and I started Hillside, and I never stopped from there. We do 2 types of hunts. We do wild hunts, which are bear, deer, bobcat, coyote, and moose in the wild, and then we do the game ranch. We have buffaloes, elk, red stags, fallows, seekers, and wild boar on the game ranch. It's the first game ranch ever in the state of Maine, and been doing it for 38 years. My properties that I have 157,000 acres in the state of Maine that we lease, and it's exclusive rights. It's more game there. It's no hunters. Wherever we hunt exclusive. That way we can produce more game for our animals. In the game ranch, it was the first one ever in the state of Maine. I had to go through the legislature to get the bill passed to have a place in Maine. And there's only 4 of us in the whole state, and we were kind of grandfathered into it. And there can't be any more, so that makes it nice too, because it's kind of a monopoly.
What was that process like, going through the state legislature and all that stuff? It just sounds hard.
Yeah, well, it is hard. I mean, it's 38 years of your life. I did it because I loved it. The more I did, the more I wanted to do. It isn't for everyone, but it's for me, and as you can see, 400 exhibitors in this place.
How many years have you been coming here?
I started this show when I was 18 years old, and this, I've been doing it 38 years, and the shows have changed. The people have changed, but it's still nice. It's still a big show, and without shows like this, promoting hunts and fishing and everything else that does with the hunting sport, we wouldn't be here today.
How has hunting changed since you started?
Hunting has changed a lot because of the posted lands. You can't hunt anywhere you want, but I mean, it's still good in Maine. It's still a lot of timber companies that you can hunt. It's gotten more expensive for people to do, but overall, it's still a good thing. Well, as the old saying goes, family that hunt together stay together. I have my grandson that wants to take over this, and he wants to hunt and do the same thing I have. And, you need the younger generation to keep hunting, or we're going to lose hunting. I feel we take a lot of kids, teenagers, young adults hunting with us, and we try to show them the value of hunting and keep them out of the house and off the computers and things like that, that being outdoors is good for you. It's better than a lot of the other stuff that they're doing. When we're hunting with the youngsters and the youths, we try to show them more than just killing. We show them how nice it is to be outdoors, how exciting it can be, just watching birds or waterfowl or seeing animals that you actually can't harvest. So the more they get into the landscaping and the weather, the longer they'll stay outdoors. The problem with a lot of kids is they don't have proper people to show them how to hunt. And I think kids need to get out more and do things on their own also.
Now, women's hunting is a pretty big thing now.
Women hunting, we're getting more and more women all the time hunting. We enjoy it. They seem to pay attention to us more than some of the men. But we need them involved too. It's going to take us all to keep this sport alive.
Do you think there is a danger of the sport dying?
Well, I think the politics are going to change the whole world sooner or later. I mean, every year they're trying to take our guns away from us, they're taking lands away from us. I think that we as hunters and outdoorsmen, no matter if you hunt or not, if you're outdoorsmen, we have to all stick together somehow and stay ahead of it. I think everyone should go hunting. I think everyone should be outdoors. They don't necessarily have to hunt, but they should be out there in the wilderness doing something, camping, fishing, hiking. It all benefits us all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Like the way he held himself and the way he spoke to us was really nice. And actually, there was another Maine outfitter that I had entered a free hunt for. So I thought, oh, you know, Maine, that's probably a good idea.
She liked the Maine guy because he put Pops there in his place.
How did he do that?
Because she was telling the Maine guy, remember this? About how her first buck she got this year was is a 9-point. And the first things out of his mouth were, my buck was bigger. And the guy looks over at you and says, how are you going to take the glory from your granddaughter?
Well, please keep in mind, I was funny. I was joking.
Oh, but you joked with this serious guy that was like, he actually got offended by it. And I was like, well, step back.
I didn't really like crickets. It's about fun. It's about, we talk about this all the time, camaraderie, joking, having a good time.
But the funny thing was, though, it's the first time we didn't hear him speak for like 5 minutes because he was like in shock. He was.
Well, I was considering, was the guy really serious? Because I said, gosh, he knows I'm joking. Right?
And then he goes, hey, tell him I was just joking. Tell him I was just joking. And the guy said something. I didn't pick up on it.
It did actually surprise me. I thought, does that guy think I'm serious? I'm a character. I joke all the time. I'm always cutting up.
And so we're sitting here laughing like we know he is.
Loved it.
And he's like.
Plus Pops probably looked like a drunk because we got beers right before that. You know,
That's
no, you had beers in your hand.
Yeah, we had beers in our hand.
I don't drink, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one that suggested to Brandon go get a beer.
No, he paid for the beer. And we got one last one. And honestly, all the interviews were cool, but this interview was probably my favorite one.
How you doing? This is Jared here at Seminole Prairie, located out of Okeechobee, Florida. We're here at the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Convention, just showing a little bit of what we have to offer.
And what do you have to offer?
Well, we have a 2,000-acre exotic ranch. We offer everything from axis, black buck. We have Barasinga, Pure David, water buffalo. Of course, your wild hogs. We offer gator hunting, python hunting, a little bit of everything. I mean, you dream it, we offer.
So, how long have you been working with your company?
I've been here for a little over 3 years now. The company's actually been up and going for about 12 years total. And hopefully it stays going forever.
And what are some of your favorite things about being a hunting guy?
I mean, what is there not to like? I mean, you get paid to do what you love to do. I mean, hunting, it's America. It's based on hunting. Well, I mean, what's greater than a family out in the woods, spending time with Mother Nature? I mean, it's just, there's so much difference between being out in the woods, just taking in everything that the world has to offer. I mean, it doesn't compare to anything you could experience in the city.
When did you know that you were a hunter?
I actually, probably about in high school. I started hunting with a few buddies of mine. It kind of got me into archery hunting, did a lot of fishing growing up. And I mean, just ever since then, it was just something I loved to do.
What does hunting do for you that nothing else in this world can do for you?
I mean, just being out in the woods to me, and I just kind of escape from the world. I mean, it's so peaceful, it's relaxing. All the worries that you deal with from day to day, I mean, you just leave them back at the house. You're just in the woods. I mean, just everything as simple as watching the squirrels and the birds to acorns falling from the tree. I mean, what could be, to me, it's just nothing is more relaxing.
Well, Brandon, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Fun. We're not going to see much of you, are we?
Nah, this will be my one appearance a year,
Every year you'll do the outdoor show. So
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for. Oh, geez.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all for joining with us. And
thank
as
you.
usual, we hope you had a good time. And I found this interesting.
Yes. Stay tuned for next week. See ya. We're already at 5:30, man.
It was fun.